Hi everybody, how are you today? Welcome to our Perry 10K Share-a-thon. I am our next speaker. My name is Lynn Smith, and I love this topic because it's been a life lesson for me, and it is also now what I teach. We are the Perry 10K, and on behalf of myself and our fellow speakers, we thank you all for joining us. You are the reason we show up. We love sharing our expertise, and we're glad to have you here as our audience. And if you are not on the Perry 10K waiting list, you're going to want to go do that right now, because before too much longer, Katia, can you see that? Katia is going to open up membership, and those that are on the waiting list will get a priority. And I'm telling you, this is one of the most fabulous group of people I've been honored to spend time with. You're going to want to be on that waiting list. And the program is fabulous. So today, our share-a-thon topic is about self-worth. And for me, this idea of self-worth and building a relationship with myself has been a lifelong journey, because to be quite honest, it has been more of a lifelong struggle. For a long time, I didn't like who I was. I didn't think I had anything to offer to the world. And because of that, I didn't like my life. And it was actually the other way around. I didn't like my life because I didn't like who I was. Because here's the thing, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your gifts, your abilities, the talents and the uniqueness that is truly yours sets the bar for what you receive in your life. And if you were like me for a long time in my life, I didn't like being alone because it meant I was with me. So I didn't want to be just with me. I didn't feel like I had any gifts and talents. And as a result of that, I had this really crappy life. I was in a marriage where I most of the time wasn't even seen. I was treated like a piece of furniture. And the reason for that, though, is more of an inner thing rather than an outer thing. Because I didn't like myself, because I didn't feel like I had anything to offer, I was sending out this vibe. And it attracted things that confirmed that I had nothing to offer in this world and that I didn't deserve to have a happy life. So the thing with this, your reality, your life, what you're receiving in this world is a reflection of the energy that you are giving out. And when you start to raise your appreciation for yourself, when you start to raise how you feel about yourself, when you start to see yourself as being deserving of good things, you raise the vibe that you are sending out. And when you change the vibe that you are sending out, it changes what you receive back. It took me a long time to figure that out. I was unhappy, I didn't like my life, and I tried changing the outer circumstances of my life, but guess what? I still didn't like my life. It's because I still didn't like me. So any kind of change that you're wanting to bring into your world starts on the inside. And it took me a long time to start shifting how I felt about myself. But as soon as I started to shift it, as soon as that started to amp up a little bit, I started receiving in much grander ways. Now, instead of having a husband that treated me like a piece of furniture and couldn't even bother to say goodbye when he walked out the door, I have this husband that treats me like I'm the center of the universe. He's wrong. I'm not really. But I try to propagate that. Because, hey, when you got a good thing, keep it going. But, and now, instead of having a menial job and making, I was making $10.50 an hour when I finally left my first husband. I get to do really cool stuff like this. This whole concept of self-worth, that is what I built my whole coaching practice around. Because what I have learned is whether it's you wanting to lose weight, whether it's you wanting to get a promotion, whether it's you wanting to make more money, none of that's going to happen until you change what's going on in the inside. That statement that self-worth equals net worth is so incredibly true, because if you're trying to raise your income, if you're trying to make a bigger impact in the world, right now it doesn't matter if you're making $50,000 a year or if you're making $50,000 a month. You are not going to get to that next level until deep down inside, in that subconscious level, you feel like you deserve to be making that much. So anytime you're trying to power up, you're trying to amp up, you're trying to make a bigger impact, you're trying to increase your income, you have got to change how worthy and deserving that you feel you are of that. Because what you're making right now, the impact that you're making right now, is what you feel you're worthy of. It's what you feel you deserve. It's what you feel you are capable of. In order to get to the next level, in order to raise the bar, you've got to raise the bar on the inside. You've got to go through some inner work so that you get to that place where, you know what? I'm doing a really important work and I'm really fucking good at what I do. I deserve to be doing it on a grander scale. Because if you're not feeling that deep down inside, you're never going to get on that higher stage. You're never going to get on that bigger podium. You're never going to be in front of a larger audience. Something's going to always be getting in the way. And what's going to be getting in the way is your subconscious. When you're ready to take that bigger step, your subconscious is going to pull you back like, this doesn't feel right. We're going to just kind of reel it in. Because deep down inside, you don't feel worthy enough to be on that bigger platform. You don't feel like you're valuable enough to be on that bigger platform. So it doesn't matter where you are now. In order to get to that higher income, in order to get to that bigger platform, in order to get to that fabulous relationship with that man that treats you like the center of the universe, you got to change what's going on the inside. You got to change how valuable you feel you are. You've got to change how worthy you feel you are. Because anytime we want to amp up, anytime we want to go bigger, it's an inside job. It has to start from the inside. We have to feel like we have enough value to do that. We have to feel like we deserve to be making that money. And I want to say that you get to a point where you're there and you arrive, but you're not. You're not. Because every time you want to amp up more, you got to go through the work to feel comfortable enough and worthy enough to have the more. And I find that this work on our relationship with ourselves, this work on worthiness and deserving, it is so important because it affects, yes, there's always more room to grow. It affects everything we have. In my years as a coach, I started as a weight loss coach. And I started to realize that a woman's not going to lose weight until she starts feeling better about who she is. And it's really interesting because when I started bringing in all this self-worth work, when I started focusing on that, that was when clients started making huge shifts. I watched them suddenly have more meaningful relationships. I watched them suddenly lose the weight that they've been struggling with for so long. I watched them start making more money. I've had clients make more in a 6-month period than they did the entire year before that. And the reason that they're able to do that is because they did the inner work. They realized, they got to that point where they realized they deserve to make that money. They deserve to have a bigger impact because they are really good at what they do and they change lives. So no matter what you're trying to change in your life, everything that you do to try and change the outer, you got to bring in the work of the inner with that. Because when you put the two of them together, it becomes this synergy that just changes everything. But it has to start with the inner. Because even if you've got your own business, even if you're trying to bring in more clients and raise your income, maybe you're putting money behind more marketing, more effort behind finding more clients. All that work is going to be meaningless if you're not amping up that inside of feeling like I deserve more clients, and you know what? I deserve for it to be easy for me to have more clients. And when you when you combine the inner work with the outer work, that's when you really start to get momentum. But it really has to start with the inner, because that's the energy that we send out. And when we send out that energy of I am valuable, when we send out that energy of I have a place in this world, when we send out this energy of, I deserve great things, I deserve worthwhile things, I deserve meaningful work, the universe responds. It responds by bringing us those clients. It responds by, the more meaningful relationships. It responds with money coming into us. I mean, you can't just focus on the outer. And your mind's going to want to tell you, well, I just need to amp up my marketing and then I can make more money. But you can't trust the mind. You've got to feel worthy to make more. And as long as you're working on feeling worthy to make more, why don't you work on feeling worthy to make more in easy fashion? It's just as easy to work on both as it is to work on one. And I'm looking at my time, and my time is up. So can anybody tell me if Des is here? So Oh, thank you, Ketch. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I want to say once again, make sure you put yourself on that waiting list, because every single one of us that shows up and really gives our all on these broadcasts, it's because we're all learning together. We're all overcoming the fear of being in front of the camera together. It's a great bunch of people. You should come join us. Okay, I see Darcy's just telling me that she's live, so I'm going to go catch up with her. Let's all go see her. Bye, everybody.